We are now live. It is now live. We didn't get a countdown this time. Welcome back, everybody, to KOSI Kourt. That's if you've watched before. This is the first time we're streaming live on LinkedIn.
Whoop.
Never done it. We've just done YouTube so far, haven't we? So we thought we'd bring it to LinkedIn because that's where most of our audience is sitting. And at a lunchtime scroll, you might want to give it a watch. So if you're new here, welcome for the first time. We will get into it pretty quickly, but we both thought it would be useful to describe and explain what KOSI Kourt is. Because if you have never watched it before, you might be thinking, what the fuck is going on? And what is this about? It's not just me and Si having a little chit chat on a Friday. So KOSI Kourt is where you bring your cases, and these can be anything. So it could be something really funny that you think needs to be judged, something like a manager has done to you, a candidate situation, a client situation. If you really want, you can bring something from your personal life that you want us to judge. We don't really care. Anything. Bring it to the court. Now you can either bring it live today and put it in the chat, or for future KOSI Kourts, just DM the KOSI page or me or Si, if you want it to be anonymous. And we basically read it out. The viewers put in the chat whether it's a guilty or not guilty verdict, or a hung jury if you can't make a decision. But we want you to make a decision, and then we give our verdict, and then we move on to the next case. So we've had some pretty wild ones so far. Well, we've brought some from our own lives, haven't we? But we've had some quite funny, quite bad stuff as well, haven't we, that we've had to judge. So that is what it's about, basically.
Yeah, it's been a mixed bag. It's been a mixed bag so far.
Yeah.
I've got 2 recruitment agency specific ones today.
Yeah, mine is as well. Mine is. And I listen, I think mine could cause a debate, actually. So, yeah, I'm excited for you to hear it and hear what you think about it. But do you want to get cracking with yours?
Yeah, okay, case number 1. So, recruiter, senior consultant, been in the game for about 3-4 years. Wanted to move, put himself out there, replied to a couple of rec-to-rec messages, went for an interview with another firm, not a direct competitor or anything, so it would have all been fine. Nails the interviews, does like 3 rounds of interviews, 2 online ones, 1 in person, really long in person one.
Yeah.
Gets an offer, and they were like, yeah, brilliant, got the offer. And in his first role, he was let go. So his LinkedIn profile on his first role, the one before the one he's leaving now to go to the new job, said he finished in like April or whatever it was. Just what he said it to. The company who have made the offer to him have made it sound absolutely ironclad that he's got the role, that's it, it's done. They just need to go do a bit of referencing and that's it. And he had well wishes from his current employer, so off he went. Let them know I'm leaving, by the way. Whilst doing the handed his notice in.
Has he had okay, carry on, because you might give me this detail.
Handed in his notice, having an open conversation, I'm leaving, so on and so forth. It's all very amicable. Handed his notice in, accepted an offer. They said, yep, done deal, here's the start date, looking forward to having you. And then like an automated reference form thing comes through that he's got to fill in and so on and so forth. So he's not worried because his most recent employer knows he's going, all that sort of stuff. The one beforehand, where on his LinkedIn profile it said he finished in April of that year, that employer replied and said he actually finished in March that year. And he just hadn't updated his LinkedIn profile to be accurate to the exact dates of his contract of employment, right? It was just like, I need to update my LinkedIn profile. Because of that discrepancy of what months he'd worked, they pulled the offer from him and said, hi, sorry, we've noticed some discrepancies in your referencing and the dates you provided of your employment are not accurate, and therefore we are pulling your offer. And he's like, what are you talking about? Like, it's a month on a LinkedIn profile, right? It's not like I've tried to lie about it. I've given you their contact details. So the agency that he had the offer from turned around and said, no, sorry, we've got to pull the offer. It's our own rules internally around it. Personally, I would be raging about it if I'm having an offer pulled because my LinkedIn doesn't match what my client said, what the employer said by 1 month, just 1 month. And it was genuine. He said, "Oh mate, I must have just updated my LinkedIn profile later than when I left." Go on.
So, yeah, you know what I'm like. I'm going to go like pick this apart now. So, had he had a contract from them when he handed in his notice?
No.
Why was he handing in his notice?
I think from the sounds of it, it sounded like it was quite like an open conversation with his current employers that he's in the market, he's going to go. I don't know like what the performance numbers are like or anything like that. He's just, it feels like it was all very pally in terms of like the people making the offer. Yeah, they're really committed and they want it, giving him a start date, talking about the team, who's working. He's met loads of people, invited to socials, told about the social calendar. And also equally as pally with his current place where he's like, yeah, I'm going to go, by the way, this is what's happening, so on and so forth.
I think whether it's pally or not, fucking hell, wait till you've got a firm before. I mean, you work in recruitment, for God's sake, don't you? Like,
Signed and resigned, right? Signed and resigned is such a...
Yes, wait. Like, why are you telling people? So that was the first thing I was thinking. Also, the company that retracted the offer, no, what's the, not retracted?
Yeah, retracted.
Yeah, retracted the offer. Did they not, again, they're a recruitment company, did they not check, like, when they were interviewing him, like, were they like, oh, the CV says a different month to the LinkedIn, or maybe we should dig into what month he actually left that job and why did he leave? Because it probably would have come up then, wouldn't it? Because he would have said March, and then he'd be like, oh, your LinkedIn says April, and then he could have been like, oh, shit, mistake or my bad. But like, I think like if they I wonder, is there another reason? Like, would you really take back that offer over a month if you love the person, you report into them? You know, good people are hard to find in recruitment now with experience, aren't they?
100%.
So would you, if all the numbers were adding up, you really like the person, they gelled with the team, all that stuff? Because you can't give a bad reference. So that old agency wouldn't have said anything other than, no, he started in March.
That's the first question I asked him. First question I asked him was,
what did they say?
Do you reckon they're likely to potentially give an off-key? Like, did anything happen there that might have meant that they weren't feeling great about giving a reference for you?
Yeah.
And he was like, absolutely not. I still see them. Like, we still go out. All that sort of stuff. He said he's got a great relationship with them as well. Like, this fella is like one of the nicest people I've met. Like, he's a really nice guy. Just he gets on with everyone. And so he was like, no, absolutely not. It's literally a discrepancy. I'm with you where I think that there's another reason, but I think the other reason is on the agency side, the one that are looking at making the offer. I think it's them that have gone, oh, maybe we don't want to hire now, and this is a good reason for us.
Yeah, or maybe we can't actually budget for it, or it just seems a bit, I don't know, just a bit silly. But honestly, some of the things that I hear, I'm like, are you for real?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, this is a chap that I know from a client that I'm working with at the moment. And he's like smashing it, right? He's like principal consultant there.
Maybe it was a mistake not taking him on then.
And this is the job that he got after that offer was pulled. So he's obviously, it's all worked out well for him. He's laughing, yeah, absolutely laughing. But yeah, he was telling me about it when I was explaining what KOSI was, and he was like, I was like, any funny stories? And he told me that story, and I was like, that's a KOSI Kourt one for sure.
Perfect for KOSI Kourt.
Yeah.
So before we give I'm not seeing anything in the chat, so if you're watching, what are your views on this? Put it in the chat, because we'll see it coming through. If you haven't watched it before, we can share it. Because you might be listening to me inside talking, and you might have picked up something else from the story, or you might be thinking, or even if you're watching this back, right, because you can stream this after we've done it live, put your opinion in the chat, because we might be seeing it one way, but you might be seeing it a completely other way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was what I was. The initial thing I was thinking is, why has he told them he's leaving?
I know. I mean, to be fair,
he's just a very nice guy, like too nice, basically.
A bit too nice. Just really, really too. I mean, he's not. He's definitely learned from his lessons, I would say. Like you can tell that he's a little bit sharper now. But he's been at this new place for like a few years now, so he's a bit more longer in the tooth now. He's obviously been through this. That would have been one of those educating moments in your career.
Oh my God, you'd be gutted as well. You know, if you like, your heart was set on the role.
Yeah.
And they took it. Oh my God, I'd literally be gutted. But I think it does stuff like that. The way I like to look at it is, it says a lot of them. If they're going to be that petty over that, when it was an honest mistake, there wasn't anything dodgy in it, what might they be like when you start working for them?
Yeah, agreed.
That's what you've got to think.
Agreed. So the judgment that we want to pass here is: were the agency right or wrong when it comes to pulling the offer? Are they are they are they guilty of being way too harsh, or are they not guilty and well within their rights to do so because of the discrepancy? I'll let you go first.
Well, for me, I would say they're guilty. Yeah, I mean, fair enough if they wanted to do a bit of digging and they noticed the discrepancy and they wanted to dig a bit and find out, well, what, just to make sure the gap wasn't done on purpose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Otherwise, why risk losing out on someone good? So we've got Paul said, bit harsh, but if his employer loved him that much, would they not just let him stay? True, good point.
Yeah. I think though, once the boat has sailed, sometimes it's really hard to then get back into it and justify it and stuff like that. And people's hearts aren't. I don't think it necessarily always sends the right message to the rest of the team. And also, nice guy might not translate into banging deals out. Sorry if you're watching, mate. Your billings into question. But yeah, good point.
Gordon, hi Gordon. The month is just an excuse for something else, in my opinion. I mean,
yeah.
I used to be very skeptical with my candidates around stuff like that, really skeptical. But I mean, you know him. What do you think?
Honest mistake. I believe him. 100%. I believe him. When he says, mate, he was like, the last thing you do, the last thing you're thinking about is getting your month and end date done. He was trying to interview at the time between first job, second job. So he was like, I just updated it whenever I updated it. I trust him, and I'm with Gordon that it stinks of an excuse from the agency that are hiring.
Yeah. Kat, hello Kat. Whole thing sounds wrong. I can see it from an integral point, but should have challenged it, not from a decision based on it. Yeah, you could just challenge on it. Then move on. We've got a very good story from Kat, by the way, on the next episode that's coming out, a couple of weeks? I think it's coming out, good. Which you all need to watch.
Yeah.
Shocking story, by the way. So, yeah, that's to come. Okay. I think we've got a vote of overall guilty. Yeah,
agreed.
That was a fairly easy one, wasn't it?
Fairly easy.
Right. I've got one now which could divide opinion. So I got this sent in to me. So I think he's a principal consultant, actually, in an agency. So he was dealing with he'd went over a client and he was having a chat. He's already been had some interviews and stuff. So this is not like an initial BD call, but they're a new client. And was speaking to the director of property services within this client, so quite a high up position, and was working an executive role for them.
Okay.
So so this is very recent. This is just the Friday just gone. So actually, he wasn't meant to be working. He booked a day of annual leave, but he'd come into work to do some work stuff, obviously. But he had a chat with this client. Nice chat. Thought it all went really, really well. Left work, went off to go and enjoy himself on his annual leave day, saw some friends. And then on his way home, he gets a call from his CEO. So the CEO of his agency that he works for. And he was like, mate, you have absolutely fucked it with that client.
What?
So he's like, what are you on about? We had a really good call. You know when you're genuinely baffled? Because there's nothing... He was like, I don't understand where you've got that from. We had a really, really nice chat, rounded things off, all good. And basically, what turns out, what had happened is, he had said, as they were rounding off the call, thanks, love, to her.
What?
Okay. So just to add, this guy is a Scouser.
Yeah.
So he just said, I say that a lot, don't I? Thanks, love, all that. And they'd had a really nice chat and it sort of slipped out. It's not something he would normally say to a client, but they'd had a really nice chat and you relax a little bit, don't you? And
it's your day off as well. I mean, you might be... Yeah.
He has got Tourette's as well. So sometimes, the mannerisms he would normally say would come out. But he didn't even realise he'd done it because it was just a relaxed, they had a nice call, whatever. So he said that at the end of the call. He couldn't even remember he'd said it, but he'd said it. She then told her CEO, who was also a woman, and then the CEO is emailed through, obviously with his CEO CC'd in or whatever, saying, we take equality and diversity very seriously at X company, and her being referred to as love on the call is both derogatory and simply not acceptable. And they said they will not be working with them anymore.
Nah, the game's gone.
And that's it. So,
no, I don't know.
What do you think about it? Because I've got my thoughts, but I want to hear yours first. And by the way, anyone watching, start dropping your thoughts in the comments.
Yeah. Do you know what? It's a really, really difficult one because there isn't like a clear comms rules of engagement guide. Like there isn't something that says after 3 phone calls you can just say what you can just say things like lovely, thanks. I mean, I would never go as far as saying babe or darling. You know what I mean? You're never going to go that far, but I use the word love or lovely sometimes, or mate. You remember we've had it before on KOSI when people kick off.
Well, this is why I brought it up, because it reminded me of one we've had before on season 1 of KOSI.
I just think I get it though. I'm trying to put myself in the person's shoe, right? As a female leader, female manager, like being called it. But I think in this context, I think it does sound a little bit games gone and a bit too ridiculous. I am trying my best to think of it from the other perspective, but my gut feel is absolutely ridiculous. Thanks, love is just a turn of phrase. In my world, it's just a turn of phrase. It's a way to finish a call.
Yeah. Adam's made a good point. I forgot to put the wrong one up. Could have been a lot worse than love if he has Tourette's. So it could have been.
Good point. Good point.
That is woeful. Why are people so touchy on stuff like this? Could have been a lot worse than love if the lads have Tourette's. So yeah. I'm gonna give my perspective on it. So what we've got to remember is we don't know what is obviously these 2 women are very high up in a business or it's housing, but I can't remember if it was private sector or public, but whatever. Well, CEO, it must be private. So we don't know what they've experienced in getting to that point. So, so also it's how you said it. Now I know this guy, he wouldn't have said it in a sleazy way. It would have been a turn of, like you said, a turn of phrase. It would have been like, oh, thanks, love. Like I would say it. And also it's a regional thing, some of these things. And if they're not from a region where they use that terminology, it might be quite weird for them, for someone to say it. So you've got those 2 things. I think for me, you've got to, it's different for him because again, he's got Tourette's, so these things can come out. But I just read the room. So if I'm speaking, I mean, most of the people I deal with are blokes anyway. So, but if I'm with a client where we are dealing with women or anyone, or even the consultants I deal with,
yeah,
I do eventually, when I've got a good relationship, refer to them as love or whatever. It depends how well I know them, and also it depends what type of personality they are.
Exactly.
Then my other view on it is, if you're going to get, it's different. He's employed, we're not employed. So for me, if you don't like how I speak, don't fucking work with me then.
Yeah, very, very good point.
Because you're not my person. But for him, he's employed in a business, and it's different. And he's got he can't just do what he wants.
Yeah.
Not that he would be rude or anything. He's not that kind of guy. But so it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because it's like I can see a world where they would find that inappropriate and get a bit annoyed by it. But and also we don't know what's happened in their world. But also on the other side, to not work with them over. You can maybe pull it up and say, look, I prefer you to really love.
Yeah. Exactly. I was just about to say that.
And then if he does it again, fair enough. But I think it's a bit harsh to just go straight away, pull the plug. Again, I think like the other story, there's something that maybe there's another reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think it's so. I think it's like I think you always have to read the room. I mean, we're recruiters and salespeople, right? So when we obviously mirror match. Like I code switch all the time, depending on who I'm speaking to. If I'm with Connor from Beckenham, hello mate, you all right? How's it going? How's the football? And then actually, if it's I don't know Sebastian who went to flipping Eton, you might switch it up a little bit, right? That is a natural thing that you do. But thanks, love, as a phrase, turn of phrase is just pretty standard, and I think quite national. Like I think like Yeah, I just find it straight super strange. For me, I don't think there's anything wrong, and I actually think what you just said there around raise it, right? Raise it as a thing. I don't know if it's enough to end an entire business relationship over, especially with the whole company. It's one thing if you've taken umbrage to him saying it. Maybe you need to just say, we didn't like the fact that he said, thanks, love. We don't feel like we can work with him. Can we have another recruiter to work with? I mean, that's even a half ground that you can get to. But I wonder what everyone else is thinking.
Kat's come in with, I call everyone lovely when I'm relaxed. However, I would cringe if a prospect ended a call with thanks, love. But I wouldn't base a decision on this. I would have said, please don't call me that. And I think... honestly, some women do find it really annoying when men call them things like that. I think it's difficult because it's the start of their relationship. So I know this guy's a lovely guy, but they don't know him that well, and it might be a bit like, what's he calling me love for? And I think that. But I agree with Kat there. Like, pull it up in the moment. He ended the call thinking it was a lovely call. If you don't like it in the moment, say, oh, look, I know you might not have meant any offence by that, but I really would prefer you didn't call me that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the geezer's coming on his day off to do the call, for crying out loud as well.
I know. Talk about ruining your day off. God. Adam's added another comment. So I get professionalism, but love, mate, pal, absolutely fine. If that is the reason, I think there was another factor. Either they were not interested in general or they were a knob. I think he did, from memory. I can't open. If I open LinkedIn, my laptop will die probably. I'm sure they'd messed him around a little bit on the interview side of things before this chat. So yeah, it could well be.
Yeah.
Like when someone's just looking to pick on something. But I think it's a difficult one because. Oh shit! My battery's about to run out on my laptop. I'm organised. I'm on my day off as well. This is why I'm not organised.
Live productions.
Live production. I'm back. I just think it's a sticky one because I can see why it might annoy people.
Yeah.
If I genuinely was partnering with another business and I thought they could benefit me, I would just have a chat about it.
So are we? Is the case that we're trying? Was the said recruiter guilty of being inappropriate?
Yeah, that's what we're looking for. So put it in the chat, guys. I think I can probably guess what everyone's going to say.
I'll tell you now. He's 100%, in my opinion, not guilty of being inappropriate. I think that is.
No, I don't think at all he was trying to be inappropriate at all. It just came out. And the thing is, like, if they had opened up a conversation, he would have had the chance to be like, I am so sorry, I didn't even realise I said it. I've got Tourette's. It's also something that, when I'm relaxed, it just comes out. And then they probably could have had a really decent conversation around it. Exactly. Sometimes, like, all right, we all say things sometimes that maybe come out the wrong way, or we really don't mean for them to intend to offend someone. If somebody then takes offence from it, I think it's better to just have a chat with it to learn, was that their intention? Obviously, if you feel comfortable to have that chat, or was it not? Paul's saying not guilty.
Paul's apparently the recruiter because he said he's pleading not guilty. I love it.
Pleading not guilty, yeah.
Love it, not guilty.
I'm gonna go in with not guilty.
That was a good one though. It is a divide.
Yeah. Not guilty, Your Honour. Adam the same.
It's definitely one that does divide.
Bloody shitter on your day off though. I'd be like, oh.
Do that on your day off and then come in on the Monday and have to listen. Or no, did they ring him on the Friday? Sorry.
Yes.
They rang him on the Friday. Wow. You can't. No good turn.
I personally hope that his CEO had his back.
Yeah, same. I do. I really, really do.
Once he investigated and found out what went on, because when stuff like that happens and you don't feel like you're supported and backed, it feels even shitter. Yeah.
Not only have you got someone externally against you calling you out about something, you've also got your internal people not getting your back around it. So
yeah, all right, shit news in a client, but when someone genuinely didn't intend it, like, I need someone to have my back here.
Yeah.
Right, what is yours?
All right, my second one. Huh?
Unless anyone's got anything to submit, this will be our last case.
Yeah, if submit it in anyway, we'll pick it up. And whilst
Yeah,
I'm
put it in the
doing that,
chat.
yeah. Okay, so this is about a topic, obviously, that's quite close to my heart. Anyway, nope,
Football?
no, notes in your CRM. So this agency have a candidate ownership process or rule internally, right?
Yeah,
If
work like
someone
that.
has
Yeah.
if someone has spoken to a candidate within 3 months, they've got an element of ownership. Now, I know in different markets it's different things because they're candidate short, client led, whatever. But this agency, just for the purposes of this case, 3 months, if you've had a conversation, that's your candidate. You have to log a note on the CRM. Now, there's one note type that doesn't count, and some people might see this in their agency. I personally find it the most irritating thing on the planet, and it's a message where it says LMTCB. Left message to call back is the acronym that people do. So if they leave a voicemail, they'll do like VM as a note type or left message to call back as a note type. It's like there's no need to do that. Like we don't need to know that you've left a voicemail.
I
But people
do.
do that. Do you actually? Do you track that you've left
Yeah.
voicemails? Oh
Yeah.
wow. Okay. It does my nut in actually because it clogs up the note section within on like profiles if you've got people getting marketing emails and so on and so forth. Anyway,
I just like it to be seen that I've tried to contact that person and that I can track myself.
yeah.
All right, I left a message, they didn't come back to me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. To be able to
Yeah.
see like an audit log or whatever.
Yeah.
So the left message to call back or the voicemail notes do not count. Obviously, you haven't spoken to them, right?
Yeah.
So they
That
don't
makes
count.
sense. Yeah.
So the person who told me this story is a consultant, and they work at an agency, and they've pulled a role. Now they pulled a role in America, so they've got folks in the UK that work the US market. They've got folks in US, boots on the ground, that work the US market. This chap is here in the UK, and there is a significantly bigger biller, female, based over in the States, who also
Okay.
works a similar patch and market. He's pulled a role over the weekend, I think he said it was. He's gone into the CRM, done a search, pulled up his talent pools, and he's like, right, bang, I'm going to go get after all these people. So he's hit them all in the morning, booked calls. Like he's speaking to people 6, 7 a.m. their time in America because they're just up, like they're just up and up for speaking. So that one of the candidates that he included in the mail shot was someone that he was very careful. He went through last note types, make sure it wasn't someone that was owned by anyone else, because he wanted to get hold of the candidates and have 100% of the fee. And he's messaged all these people. One of the people he's messaged, come back in, booked in, had the interview. 2 weeks later, got an offer, all done. They invoice on signature. He's done the deal.
Yeah.
He gets called in by his manager after doing the deal because they were being. He said that they were being weird. Like the deal email wasn't going out. And he was like, normally, as soon as we do a deal, the email's going around to everyone, like money bags emojis. It's like that kind of agency. Like they make a big deal about deals,
I like
as well they should. So the deal email's not going out. And he's like, oh, that's a bit weird. I don't know what's happening. Then he just assumed it must be finance holding it out because maybe the client's not approved or whatever. He just didn't think anything of it. Manager pulls him in and says, we got a problem. Bigger biller in the US spoke to that candidate within 3 months. And he went, it's not on the database because I ran the search, excluded anyone that had notes, qualification notes, checking notes, etc. And he went, yeah, but that left message to call back, no, they did call back. And he was like, but it would go in the system if they called back because they use a VoIP solution that pulls in all the notes and so on and so forth. He went, no, they rang her on WhatsApp. And he was like, well, what's that got to do with me? It's like,
Why did she log it?
Just didn't put the note in. Now, they've then basically just tried to sweep over him and go, right, yeah, listen, it's obviously not ideal for anyone. Let's just carve the deal up between you. And he was like, carve the deal up? I won the job. I did the search. I did all the screening calls, ran the entire process. And you want me to carve up the deal with someone who had a conversation with them but didn't follow your agency manager process for logging it, and that because they tried to just basically like steamroll him with this concept of we'll just split it. He like dug his heels in. He was like, no, I'm not doing it. Why am I splitting it? And so on and so forth. caused a huge problem. CEO got involved. They've got like a chair, a Ned, right? Even the Neds had to get involved to have a conversation. And he's like, why are you guys blowing this up as big as it is? I've got no beef with the bigger biller over there. No beef whatsoever. I don't even know him. I just did a
my money.
I did a 360 deal. Give me my billings and that be that. In the end, they just basically went hard and went, no, we've made the decision. We were hoping you'd understand it. And they made the decision, and that's the decision they made. Now, he has ideas as to why they made the decision. I've got my ideas as to why they made the decision. But that's what's happened. So are the agency guilty of unfairly taking revenue away from Matey? I think we know the answer to this one. But
yeah, get involved in the chat, gang. But
what do you think?
Could they see? Could she prove we had a WhatsApp chat?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
My thing would be, and because I'm like you, CRM usage is like life to me. It's not on the database, doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't follow our process and put it on the database. That's what we ask you to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you had done that, the candidate would have never come up in that guy's search.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't be in this position, but you haven't followed process and you used the CRM properly. If the candidate was that great, why haven't you done anything with the candidate?
Yeah, exactly. And at the point of speaking to them, when they did come back to you, if she was using the system, she would see that Matey was in conversation and got them submitted and so on and so forth. Like, how's that not come up in your conversation? Yeah.
Yeah.
How's that not come up? I mean, they're quite big, so they might not have visibility of all the stuff happening. But if you were having a call with him on the tools that you're meant to have calls with, your VoIP solution, for example, you would see straight away that they're in conversation with Matey, who's sent this case in. Yeah.
Paul has said no candidate ownership unless they put the candidate forward for the job they were placed for. But I mean, you don't have a choice. When you work in an agency with candidate ownership, I did it for 6.5, 7 years.
Yeah.
You haven't got a choice. Like, that is how it works. Like, your candidates are I think it was 6 months in my old agency, and I am telling you now, it caused fucking ructions, candidate ownership.
Yeah.
Ructions. I remember doing searches, looking at old candidates I could resurrect, finding out that one of my colleagues, this happened in my last year actually before I left, one of my colleagues had secretly started working with a trainee candidate. All trainees were mine.
Yeah.
And had them in for jobs. I was like, what are you doing? That should be mine.
Yeah.
Why is it under your name? And I didn't get backed. She got to keep the candidate.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? A lot of people do follow that. That's why a lot of agencies do that whole no candidate ownership thing, unless you're going to get them in front of a client. But I think the problem that comes off the back of that is then just people. It is more grey. I think there's an opportunity to do for more dark arts. At least this process is designed quite well, and it promotes database usage.
It's basically better for the candidate experience when you have candidate ownership, because the candidate deals with one person. They much prefer it, but it can be quite stressful as the consultant, because you have to have very clear boundaries, guidelines. You know, you need to make sure it's very clear who sits with what candidate. Kat said, agency guilty. If it's not on the database, it didn't happen. If I was their manager, I'd have backed the person that made the deal and made an example of the one that didn't follow the process. 1 minute. I think you've nailed it there.
Nailed it. That's exactly what you need to do with it. And it's like, you just got to say, sorry, hun. Well, maybe not.
Follow the process.
Yeah.
And also, how demotivating for that consultant that's worked his arse off and has done BD, and when the client himself to then have a split fee.
Imagine doing a 360 deal in your market, and then someone comes along and says, "Yeah, we're carving it up now." No way. Anyone that's done 360 recruitment knows the feeling. Win the work.
Oh, it's buzzing. It's amazing.
Eat what you kill. Like, that is a great feeling. Like, to do that. So then for someone and the work you put into it, juggling both sides, and then for someone to come along and go, Excuse me. We're going
I'll
to.
take half of that, thanks.
I thought the liberty was how they tried to just sweep him over on it. Like I'm so glad that he stood up to it because they just went, yeah, look, there's a call over there that happened on WhatsApp. So best thing, we'll just split it. Like almost like
No.
presumptively doing it. I mean, it still didn't work out for him, right? But still, I'm glad he dug his heel in because I hate when people do that. Just presumptively roll over you and go, yeah, we'll just do this then, shall we? It's like, hang about a minute. What are you talking about?
Do you know what that would do to me? I'd have PTSD from it, and it would make me even more controlling and protective of my desk.
Yeah, agreed.
Because I'd just be waiting for someone to fuck me over again.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's not good for internal culture, stuff like that. You get people get even more sneaky then.
Yeah, I agree.
They can't trust their colleagues.
Yeah.
That girl should be ashamed of herself.
I think so as well, for flagging it and saying like, oh, and she's the bigger biller as well, right? So she is the person that's performed better. He made a real point of saying that. He was like, mate, she was billing miles ahead of me. He's like, she's smashing it. She's billing more than me. And it's like, and then so my opinion is that they're trying to appease a big biller.
Yes. Yeah, I didn't think of that. That is what they're trying to do.
And that's it. They've gone, well, we don't want to upset the apple cart here. Yeah, he's done some 360 deal, great. But she's billing more. She's the bigger biller. And he made a real point about that. And I think that's obviously what it is.
That is what it is. I've got more big stories coming through, these appease and bigger biller stories. It's happened to me. I can guarantee it's probably happened to you in your consulting career. Where you've had someone get their own way when actually they were wrong because they billed a bit more than you.
Yeah.
It happens all the time. It's so wrong.
I see it all the time in recruitment agencies that I go to. I see it all the time. One person sitting there getting away with murder, always getting the rub of the green. Yeah.
That's a really good point, Wendy. That's why she's the bigger biller.
Yeah, good point.
Probably is.
Probably. Yeah, so she's an average biller, but she just nicks little halves off the people with WhatsApp calls.
Yeah.
Well, I think we know where we're at with that one.
Yeah. I think that is a guilty to the agency.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel for him, I would be livid.
We've had a few of these. We've had a few of these.
I'm going.
We've had a few of these on KOSI Kourt where consultants have just been absolutely shafted, and it just. But then that is why we have so many movers and shakers in our market. People get shafted all the time, and it just spurs them on to go leave, move, set up on their own. So on and so forth. And in that first case I gave, that led to the best move that could have happened for Matey. He ended up at an agency where he's progressed, billing, having a good time, got a management-y, leadership-y role. Yeah,
it always works out in the end. It's just not nice when you go through some of these things, is it? And when you're not backed by the people you should be backed by.
Yeah.
That's what hurts, isn't it? And then, ultimately it will mean agencies lose good people for making silly decisions. Toxic. I'd rather a team of average billers, consistent and happy, than one top arsehole.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
It can be challenging them, but I've really enjoyed today's show. I think we will continue to stream on LinkedIn because every comment we've had has been from LinkedIn, so I think it's easier for you all to watch us on here. So we will continue to stream on YouTube as well. If you want to go back and watch today's show, it's on YouTube, so you can. But I think we stick with the old LinkedIn.
I'm up for it. And we've got a whole backlog of not just this season's episodes, we've also got season 1 sat there ready and waiting for anyone that hasn't watched.
It's mad watching season 1 back, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so Mickey Mouse. Not Mickey Mouse, but it's come on.
It feels like we are, because we were so... our first episode was really good, actually. It's got really high views, but... It's just, the stories we get in, I think, have got even wilder because people know the show more. Yeah. We look different as well.
I've lost 12 kilos, but.
Yeah, well, there we go. We've got a lot of content for you on there. Old KOSI Kourt, season 1, season 2 of KOSI, loads of shorts, loads of stuff on there. So if you're watching on LinkedIn, you can get all the YouTube and the Spotify. If you want to listen on Spotify, it's all in the KOSI LinkedIn page for you, basically. But we're all done. I hope you all have an amazing Friday.
Thank you for joining. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for joining us. And we'll be back. Don't know the date yet, but it'll be in around a month's time. We'll be back with the next KOSI Kourt.
Wicked. Have a good weekend, folks.
Bye.
See ya.